Hello and welcome to Petrolheads London. We're not here to talk about that thing. Don't even know why that's here. But anyway, that is quite good for going away with, but this is a damn sight better. So this is my 2013 BMW GS, and as you would have seen, I've already done a sort of quick review on it, but it's an awesome bike, and I just thought about sort of top 4 or 5 things that I think are brilliant about it, and really only a couple that I can think of down points of it. Really, it's such a versatile bike, and actually that's probably the first one. Having been to Africa and had that amazing, I don't know if that's a word, but anyway, opportunity, what I've realised is it is just so capable. And you know, that's not just because of how it's built, it's because of the electronics, it's because of the way it's all set up. And so, you know, that brings me on to, I suppose, number one, but I'll come back to that one as number two, but is that this low centre of gravity with this sort of boxer engine is just brilliant. You know, it really feels like it kind of like glides around corners. You know, it's the first thing I noticed when I first rode one, and I really like that about it. But that low centre of gravity makes it feel not half as heavy as it actually is, although I have one contradiction around that later. As I said, kind of mentioned before, my other one is its versatility. It's just a great bike. I think it's brilliant around town. I think it's great on long road trips. You know, I've been to Europe on it. I went to the Isle of Man, to the TT, and taken shed loads of stuff. And that's kind of number 3, is actually it can take a load of stuff without really affecting the performance. Now, I have side panniers, which I've talked about before, and I have these Krieger bags, which I just think are absolutely awesome. I don't like top boxes. I mean, they're great if you want to fit lots of stuff in. I know guys who have them, but get a scooter if you want a top box, is my view. The Vario luggage is great. Actually, that's one of my downsides. My first downside is I think they look rubbish when they're out, and I think they're slightly wider than the bike is, so for filtering isn't so good. But I said, it's really versatile. Round town's great. Filtering is actually a hell of a lot easier than you think, especially when you've got the width of the mirrors. I actually found when I had a Triumph Street Triple, that was worse for filtering because the mirrors were exactly car mirror height. I ended up changing them for bar. Comfort. This is just such a comfortable riding position. You know, I did 5,000 kilometers almost while we were in Africa. And okay, there's a fair bit of standing up for like the adverse conditions, but I didn't once really feel like it was a particularly, it was an uncomfortable bike. Actually, I had a real problem with my Street Triple because the seat on that was so uncomfortable. But this, I've just done so many trips. I actually went up to the Ron Haslam Race School and back in a day, and after a knackering day racing bikes around the track there, this was just really comfortable, but you can still have fun on it. And that versatility isn't just about what you throw at it, but it's about how much fun you can have on it. And this is why I really struggle with thinking about getting a different bike. It's got an amazing range, but I suppose your range is only as good as the other person with the smallest tank that you're riding with. So when I've been to Europe, I did find with my mates' bikes we were stopping quite a few times, and you're nuts not to fill up if you're stopping. Anyway, an amazing bike. I really think so. You know, I've often had, you know, sports bikes, you know, before this, and as I said, I can't really find a downside. My biggest downside is that, okay, it looks rubbish with the panniers extended, wind protection. So despite the fact it's not particularly fared, what I do find is, compared to other bikes where you're quite tired on long journeys, is this really channels the wind around you. The downside of that is if you're going slow in the summer, it gets quite warm. So yeah, downsides are, looks rubbish with the panniers out. My biggest one is I'm not particularly tall, and when I have it fully laden, we were in the pissing rain in the Netherlands, you might have seen I did a video about some of that, and I had 2 boxes on the side, 2 panniers, double Krieger bags, which obviously the problem is you just fill them because you can, and trying to get it up off the side stand sometimes was really heavy, and that's the only real big disadvantage of it. I do find it quite a big bike, so when it's stationary it feels big and heavy. Once you're moving, you just forget about it completely. So a couple of things that have come up on the bike while I've had it, and I believe that this might actually be a warranty claim thing. I don't know if I'm going to get it on the side because of the way the sun, which is great, sunshine at this time of year, because frankly it's been rubbish before, but just where the engine joins on here, you can see there's a little bit of flaking of paint. Mine's actually not too bad, but I've seen quite a few where they're a little bit worse. I don't have a kick plate under the front either. I don't know if you can see that, but actually that whole front section of the gearbox gets really dirty. It's the first shaft driven bike I've had as well, and you know, people often ask, like, does it feel different, or you know, do I notice it? And to be honest, no. It makes the odd clunk actually when you go over bumps every now and then, but clunk's a bad word actually. It's just a tiny sort of vibration, but I tend to sort of pick up on these things. But yeah, you don't notice, and you know, don't have to be messing around with oil and chains and all that kind of stuff and tensioning them. As I said, pretty faultless. I think this could be, you know, one of the ultimate all-round bikes. Well, I also have the standard kind of like cast wheels, and the ones we had in Africa had the spoked wheels, which obviously make it a lot lighter in terms of unsprung weight. I haven't ridden them back to back, so I couldn't tell of the difference, but I think this still corners really well. It flicks around superbly. If you're thinking about one of these bikes, I'd just go and ride one, because I think you'll see for yourself as soon as you jump on it. I hope you found this little review of my sort of top things I like about this bike good. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please comment below and I will try and answer them. Thank you for watching Petrolheads London.